Morning. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Love 500. Welcome back to the second day of the clean of Project Van Gogh. After reading some of your comments on the first one, lots of you have made suggestions. Lots of you have berated me for using a scourer. I hasten to add it wasn't a Brillo pad. It was a cloth, metal type cloth. It's not majorly abrasive, but it was needed. Unless you're here doing this, you can't appreciate how that was caked on. That's what I needed to get it off. If I've scratched a few bits, I've scratched a few bits. Anything that's been scratched has been replaced. Not yet, they're in the post. They're on their way. But yeah, I do take on board what you say, but you know, unless you're here doing it, you don't know what I'm coming up against. You can see, to a degree. Some of you berated me for using the scourer on the glass. It hasn't scratched the glass. That's what I needed. A blade wouldn't have been enough. It was too big an area, the paint was too thick. It would not come off. It might come off a little bit, but that's what I needed to get it off. It was wet. It worked. It's not scratched the glass. So anyway, day 2. I've ordered a penguin steamer, by the way. I'm going to give that a go. It's literally just arrived in the post, so I'm going to try that. So let's see if we can do it. Failing that, we'll try a different way. Let's get on with it. So I think the passenger seat is probably the worst. I don't know whether to try and peel some more of it off or whether softening it. I'm just going to chuck it on the floor because I can just hoover it up afterwards. I think I'm going to peel as much of it off as I can just with my finger, and then I'm going to get the steam cleaner. The steam cleaner actually arrived broken. It cost me 10 quid. They're 22 quid I think new. And I got it for a tenner. But the nozzle at the end it had obviously been broken before and it had been glued on, but obviously being steam it had just broken. There's nothing coming out of it yet. I guess it hasn't heated up enough yet. It's plugged in, I'll just let it do its thing. So yeah, I'm going to have a little prod around on the seat and see if we can get some of this off. And then I'm going to just do a little experiment on bits of it, sort of this type of stuff. Well, all of it really, material and on the leather. I am also today going to try and jet wash the door cards, and depending on how they come up, apart from I won't jet wash this bit because that's where the airbag is, or there's some glass in that bit of paint, I will possibly jet wash one of these and try it. I'll take out the passenger seat first and try it. Obviously the passenger seat's the worst one. Someone did point out that there's not that much on the driver's seat and wondered whether the person was actually sitting there when it got thrown. Who knows? Although there is, I mean, it could have dripped, couldn't it? I don't know, it's possible. You can just imagine it, can't you? Throwing it. Oh, I'd love to have seen it. Anyway, let's start picking this off, and then we'll come back once the steam cleaner is warmed up, and we'll get a scrubbing brush on it as well and see if we can get it clean. Fingers crossed. I'm not convinced that will do it, but you never know. We'll try it anyway. Right. First thing I'm going to do is try and... Oh, blimey. Doesn't seem to do very much. Sort of. Ah, bloody hell! This doesn't work very well. This thing. It's getting hot here. Oh shite! It's not ejecting the steam. I should have just bought a new one, shouldn't I? This is obviously... I'm burning my hands on it because the steam is coming. I mean, that sort of worked, isn't it? But the steam's coming out the top. Oh, this is crap. Let's try it without that. I was going to use the scrubbing brush, wasn't I? Well, it's still coming out, isn't it? But this steamer's a load of crap. But it has come out. Just going to need a good wipe as well. I mean, this blue bit's leather, of course. But it's sort of done it, hasn't it? Alright, I'm going to try it on this bit of the seat here. Sort of coming off, isn't it? I think sort of scratching it off first is the best bet. So I'm trying to do a sort of combination of both, really. Bit of stain. I think this steamer can go back. I think it doesn't work, not properly anyway, and it leaks, and it's broken. Why sell something that's broken? It was well packed, so it's not got broken on the way, and you could see it had been glued on in the past. Yeah, I think this is taking too long. Let's try it on a material. Yeah, I mean it's coming off, but it's still leaving massive residue. This will take a month of Sundays doing this, like this. I think this steamer is rubbish. Yeah, I'm not convinced this is going to work well enough. Well, I'm sure with perseverance it would come off. So the trouble is you've got all the paint in it. I mean it will, again, it will come off over given time, but you've got paint is going into the cracks in the leather. But I'm sure over time it would come out. But I think I'm going to try the jet washing. I'm going to try the jet wash on the door cards, or one of the door cards, and then I'm going to, depending on how that goes, I might try it on here. I'm not convinced this steaming is going to be wholly successful. I mean, it did get it off of these bits here. So yeah, a bit of perseverance on the leather, and I'm sure I could get it off. But I'm not convinced it will do it on the material. Jet wash might, with some G101 as well, possibly. Give it a soak in a G101. But I'll try it. I'm going to get the jet wash out, take the door card out into the back garden somewhere, and we'll try it there. See if we can get it to work. So we'll be back shortly. Right, here we are out in the garden. This is the worst one of the two. So I'm going to give it a good squirt with some G101. I've mixed up some stronger G101. I mean, I haven't tried to take any of this paint off. It's still lumpy. I mean, if this is going to be jet washed, that will obviously take off all the lumpy stuff as well. I mean, in that speaker grill, for instance, am I ever going to get all that out? But we'll give it a good soaking with that. I'm not going to bother scrubbing it. I'm just going to go straight in with the jet wash and see what happens. Probably should let that soak in for a bit first, but I'm intrigued as to know whether this is going to work or not. So I'm going to go straight in with a jet wash. Cobwebs in my mouth. Right, I'm just going to try one corner to start with. Things probably going to fall over. I'm just going to try this bit here to start with. So excuse the noise. It's working a bit. Didn't seem to get that off very well, but if it gets the rest of it off like it has there, then it'll be worth it. But let's try this bit again. It's not too bad actually. You can hear my machine cutting out a bit. We've got really lousy water pressure here, so it does that unfortunately. Right, let's carry on. It's actually, I know I've done the easy bits so far, but it does actually seem to be shifting it a bit. Let's carry on. It's funny, some bits are coming off easier than others, which is a bit odd. The leather seems to come off quite well, so I'm going to concentrate on this piece now. Sort of working. So I'm going to try. I'm not sure if I've got decent pressure enough for this, but I've got this other lance that comes with it. Oh, got jammed. Hang on. Christ's sake. Oh, flip. Can't get it out now. There we go. Got this other lance for cleaning patios that goes round and round. It may mark it, but I'm going to try it. I'm not sure if there's enough pressure for it to actually work on here or not. Well, what do you think? It's actually coming off. I mean, there's certain places that it doesn't appear to be coming off for some bizarre reason, but that might, with a bit of encouragement, I'm going to try that, try some more G101. I'm going to go and get the, did I bring the brush with me? Yeah. I'm going to try some G101 on this leather, on the blue leather, and see if it actually, because if this is going to come off, it's got to come off completely. There's no point it coming off a bit. Got a tree in my way here now. If it's coming off or not. Yeah, I think it is actually. Funny how this trail's like a snail trail. Funny how that hasn't come off. But I guess if I can finish it off with this and then the jet wash again. Funny how this bit's not budging. It's really weird. I wonder why that's not. What makes that any different? It's a different type of plastic, maybe. I don't know. But it sort of seems to be working, doesn't it? Would it work as well on the seats? Funny, isn't it? Some bits aren't coming off. I mean, you can scratch it off. Weird that. Keep saying that, don't I? Really bizarre. Let's give it a blast again. Why is that bit not coming off? That's stupid. Let's go again with the jet wash. Oh, that's, you can still see that bit there, look. There's obviously like a little run. So I think let me just give that a bit of a... I think I just got to persevere with this, but it's not looking too bad. But as I said a few minutes ago, if I'm going to get it off, it's all got to come off. There's no point leaving bits on there. It's got to be spotless. So I'm going to go on time lapse now and carry on, turn it over, turn it around the other way. Yeah, see if I can get it all off, and then I'll do the other one, and then we'll come back and show you. Hopefully it'll be a success and I can just put them straight back on again. That'd be cool. There you go. Not sure if it's still going to show, because as it sort of dries, it goes sort of a slightly lighter colour. It has sort of, it's funny, there's just here on here, there's where that was a run of paint there, and it's not marked, but it's, you can't actually feel it, but it looks like an indentation. But I don't think it is an indentation. It's really weird. It's sort of, I don't know if it stained it or not. Maybe something in the paint has stained it. But there's a couple of tiny little dots, but they would just rub off. No, a lot of it is where it's splashed onto it. But that is pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. So they would definitely be going back in the car. So the other ones will have to go back up in the loft. Now, what I need to do is do the seat. I think it's got to be tried, hasn't it? Seeing how well that's come up, we've got. Notice this. I hoovered that all up. There's still glass in there though. I'm wondering if the thing under there, whether it's underneath that. I'll never get it out there. The only thing I can do is drill those rivets out, take that out. What a stupid design. I'm not sure I'll ever get all that glass out. I'm gonna have to try though, one way or the other. Even if I do have to drill those rivets out. And then put it back in afterwards. That's a nuisance though. Short of doing that, otherwise I've got to take the door off and tip it, and I'm not doing that. So 1, 2, 3, yeah, there's 4 rivets. It's like a honeycomb. I've taken it out of a car once before. I took it out of an old door because the new door I had, it wasn't in it for some reason, or it was loose. No, that's right, I had a knocking noise when I was driving along, and I discovered that it was that, and it had broken. So I had to drill the rivets out, and then put it into, take one out of an old door and put it in, and re-rivet it back in, which was a pain, but you know, if that's what I've got to do, that's what I've got to do. But we'll obviously, before we do put the door card back on, we'll take that off and see if we can hoover it all up. But I've got to try this, haven't I? I think I want to do it now. I'm running out of time, but I'm intrigued as to whether it's going to work. I don't really want to squirt, although that isn't material, is it? That's leather, so obviously the airbag's behind there, but because that's leather, that shouldn't really soak in, should it? I mean, you've got a layer of sponge there as well. I've got to do it. I'm going to take this out now and I'm going to try it. I'm intrigued as to whether it's going to work. Then I'll put it in the garage to dry off, and then tomorrow, if we get a little bit of sun tomorrow, I'll get it in the conservatory to dry off, and I'll do the other one as well. I can't wait till tomorrow to try it. I've got to try it today. So let's get it out. Get it out into the same place as I did before. Instead, I'll put it on that bit of decking so it's not sitting on the grass, and then we'll give it a go. I'm intrigued. Got to make sure it's dried out properly though before we put it back because of the electronics. And I think what I'm going to do is put a plastic bag over the airbag and what have you, wires, just so no water gets into it, and then we'll wrap it up so it can't, so no water can get in. Yeah, it's got to be tried. Got to try it. Let's go. Right, this is the passenger seat. I've put a bag over the cables down there. I'm going to keep the jet wash away from it. I've sprayed it all with G101. Let's give it a go, see what happens. I'm not convinced it's going to work, but then I wasn't convinced it was going to work on the door cards, and it has, so let's try it. I don't know where to start. Here. That's come off. I mean, there's still a mark there, but it's come off. Which side is this? This is a passenger seat, isn't it? So airbag's that side, isn't it? Yeah, so I just need to be aware of where it is, and so that's leather, so it shouldn't soak through. Once I've gone over this, I'll scrub the areas and then go over it again. So far so good, it actually seems to be working. Much to my amazement, I have to say. Who's that? Someone calling me. Hello. Funnily enough, that phone call was from a previous buyer. Sold, can't remember which one it was now. Sold one to their daughter. I think it was a Pop I sold right at the beginning of lockdown, where I met them in a car park. And her dad, who is divorced from her mum, has got a new girlfriend who can only drive an auto. So he's asking about, have I got any autos? But I've explained the situation where they're a bit few and far between, but he's got a budget of up to £5,000, so I shall have a look, see what I can find. Anyway, back to the jet washing. It seems to be working, doesn't it? Bits like that are going to need, I think, a bit of G101, and then it's funny how some bits are like that, and a bit of a scrub, but let's concentrate on this bit. Off. I almost want to get the other seat out and do that as well, but I think I'll do the other seat tomorrow. But let's get this. Oh, I've just spotted that bit right in front there that I missed. I'm going to stick it back on time lapse for a bit while I'm finishing this off, and I think we'll take this indoors and leave it indoors to dry, although it is dripping, so maybe I'll leave it overnight in the garage and then put it in the conservatory tomorrow. With a bit of luck, we might have a bit of sun and I can get it dried off indoors. Anyway, let's go on time lapse. Check this out. It's very wet, very, very, very wet. But look at that. It is now paint free. There's one or two tiny little specks on it which I can get off afterwards once it's dried. But look at that. What a difference. What a difference. And this is the worst one of the two as well. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. So we're getting a bit late now to do the other one as well. Going to start losing the daylight soon. So yeah, I'll do the other one tomorrow. So I'm going to leave this one in the garage to dry overnight, and then we'll have a look at it in the morning, see what it looks like. And we'll dry it off indoors, as I said, and then we'll get back in the car in a couple of days. I'll leave it out the car for as long as I can. I mean, the car doesn't need to move at the moment, so it doesn't matter whether there's any seats in it. Yeah, it's good. Well pleased with that. Well pleased. So I will be back in the morning. And we'll do the other seat, and then we can, as the seats are out, we can give it a good hoover, and then I'm probably not going to need to take the carpet out to jet wash it. I think I can actually clean it in the car, because the carpet's not actually that bad. Most of it's hit the seats. So yeah, I mean, I'll assess it. If it needs to come out, I'll take it out. I'd rather not, but yeah, going by what I've cleaned of it so far, I think it'll be okay leaving it in. But that's great. I'm really pleased with that so far, and let's hope it dries off nicely. So I'll be back in the morning. See you then. So welcome back. It's the next morning, and we got a nice blue sky. Bit chilly. Hopefully it'll warm up. It's probably a little bit warmer in the sun. The passenger seat, you can probably see there, is now in the conservatory. It was in the garage all night drying off. It's not too bad. There's a few little specks on it, and there's a little bit on the leather on the back of the seat, which I didn't realise that I'd missed. But that can be done using something else. Now that seat was the worst out of the two. I don't know what I'm going to do about the back. I don't know whether to take the back. I probably will take the back out and jet wash that as well. I'm probably not going to bother with those, because I could probably, the tiny little bits that are on those, I'll probably get them all elsewhere. It's not worth the effort for taking the seats out, I don't think. Don't think it's really necessary, but I'm going to, first thing I'm going to do is take this seat out, get this cleaned using the jet wash again, and as it's a sunny day, I shall leave it out in the garden for just to drip dry for a few hours, which I did yesterday. I left it out till about 7 or 8 o'clock yesterday evening, because with the, you can't do it with this one, but with the passenger seat with it flipped up, which was allowing the water to drip off onto the patio. And as I say, it spent overnight in the garage. Hopefully, I don't think it will dry off enough today, even though we've got sun on the conservatory, but it'll be a start. If I have to leave them in the conservatory again overnight to dry off a bit, then so be it. But we'll get in there. So what we're going to do, so we're going to take this seat out, going to do this, going to take that out, I'm going to jet wash that. I'll take the back seat out, jet wash that where necessary. I'm not going to jet wash the whole thing, because I don't think the seats generally need clean as such. Any other bits? I don't think there's any other bits in here to actually clean. I'm still waiting for all these dash bits to arrive. I think they're probably either going to arrive today or tomorrow, hopefully today. I think some of them. So I've got the stereo front, which got 15 quid plus postage. I've got the new, I'll keep this, but I've got that replacement for that from Club 500 for £34. What else have I got? Oh, airbags on its way as well. I think that's about it. Can't remember. So yeah, take that out. I'm also going to jet wash, which I never thought about at the time. I'm going to also jet wash that as well. And I think what someone suggested was putting any other bits in soapy water. I might actually, I haven't looked in the loft yet, but I mean, this is so caked. I don't really think I'm going to get this off. I will try. I will put it on the decking, and I will try jet washing the hell out of it and see what happens. But that, a bit difficult to jet wash that, so I think I might do what someone suggested. Again, I might have one in the loft. I might be going through the effort for no reason, so I think I'll look in the loft first. I know I haven't got one of those in the loft, not in the right colour. I've got loads of grey ones, but I haven't got any black ones. But that'll come off fine anyway. But I'm hoping up in the loft somewhere I'll have some of those. And I'll also have a right hand side one of those. But I will try and jet wash it anyway, just in case. Because it might come off easy, but it is very, very, that's the worst of the lot. It's absolutely caked solid. Well, it's good it was there actually, because it stopped it dripping down inside the door. If it wasn't for that, it would have dripped down inside the door, which it hasn't done. So well, that's the plan for today, to finish this off. I probably will have time to do more, but at this point, until the seats are dried and I've got all the other bits, I've run out of stuff to do on this now. If I have time, I might just have a little go pulling these out a little bit. I know it needs to go to the body shop really, because paint's off there. Even if I did manage to pull those out adequately, it still needs paint anyway. So it's a lovely car. It's got to be done right, so it's going to have to go to the body shop. I did think about, I think I mentioned it in one of the other videos about getting onto the PDR guy, but that's too much with the PDR guy, because look, it's, as well as the paint off there, it's actually, this ridge has gone, so that's got to be done professionally. I can't do that. Maybe if I had one of those welding machines I could, but I'd rather take it to, for something like that, I'd rather take it to the body shop. There's plenty of money in this car, so yeah, let's get on with it. So I'll get this seat out, get it out into the garden, set you up, and we'll give it a squirt and see how it comes out. I'm sure it'll be fine. The other one is, so I'm sure this one will. So let's get into it. Right, I've given the seats a good old squirt with G101. I've had to reposition the camera differently to yesterday, because the way the sun's coming round, the sun is sort of up there, so I'm having to face this way instead of facing that way. Don't know why I'm telling you all that, but there you go. So I'm just going to let that soak in for another 5 minutes or so, the G101, and then we'll make a start. I'll give the plastic a bit of a squirt as well. Seats first, and then I've got a little place next to the shed over there, which is currently in sunshine. So until the sun moves round onto the patio in a couple of hours or so, that bit's in sun, so it gives it a chance to dry off straight away. So we'll be back very shortly and give it a try. Well, we know it's going to work anyway, because it worked on the other seat, so there's no reason to suggest it won't work on this one. And I'm letting the G101 soak in for longer on this one, so in theory it should come off a bit easier. We'll see. Anyway, let's get on with it. Right, let's do it. Where should we start? Start at the top. Oh. Yeah, so as you can see, it's coming off fine. So let's continue on time lapse and get it finished. It pretty clean. There's a couple of little bits on it that wouldn't come out, but I'll try those with the steamer again. I'm going to get another steamer, so I will get them out. I mean, it's pretty much spotless, isn't it? It's very, very, very wet. One thing I did forget, luckily I remembered before I got to that part of the seat, was I forgot to put the plastic bag on where the plugs are. But yeah, I was doing that sort of side of the seat first, so it'll be all right. What I thought about doing actually was rather than just leaving these in the sun, I suppose I could get my Karcher out. The Karcher is actually broken. The pump that pumps the cleaning fluid round, the pump is operating, but it's not actually sucking anything. So I bought a new pump. I just haven't got around to putting it in yet. But the vacuum part of it still works, so it might actually be worth bringing it out over here and extracting as much as I can out that way. I could probably get it dried in the conservatory today and get the seats back in tomorrow probably. But I'll leave it in the sun for the time being while I clean off those other bits, and then we'll get that out and try that as well. So I'll come back over here now, and we're going to give this bit a clean, or these bits, see how we can get them up. So I'm not going to bother filming this because I've filmed, it's me cleaning paint off, isn't it? So it's not the most exciting footage. My wife hasn't seen all these bits of paint everywhere yet. I'm in a doghouse. Oh well, needs must. Anyway, let's get on with it, and we'll come back and show you the results once it's done. So much to my surprise, these bits came up clean as well. Took a bit of doing, but I mean, there's still a little bit of white juice in there. Just needs a little bit of a wipe off, but even that came up pretty well. Again, there's a couple of little marks on it, but if I've got one in the loft, I'll use it. Not that, I will put that back on because there's nothing wrong with that now. That's clean as a whistle, apart from that tiny little white bit of residue there, which I can get off with a cloth probably. But I also gave that a go at blast as well. I'd already taken out that the little is that the microphone temperature sensor? I can't think what that is. Not the microphone, is it? Is that the temperature sensor for the heaters? Those holes, I'm going to use a cocktail stick. I think I've got some cocktail sticks. If not, I'll get some. I'm going to use one of those to clean that. So that's, there's a little bit I missed there, but that's come up pretty well. I've still got it plugged in, so I might as well go and give it another blast just to get those little bits off as well. But that's not come up too bad actually. Again, putting what I did on the, actually I'll show you, rather than me telling you, I'll show you. My trousers are extremely wet, and my socks and my shoes. Let me just put that down a second. Put it down there. Put the light on. So where was it? On here there was some, it was like that, and I thought, oh, is that going to show? So last night I got the elbow grease, and it was just like that. It was like that just there, and I've gone over it, and as you can see, there's nothing there. There's still a few little bits in this groove, but I'll get those out. But yeah, that was like that, and the elbow grease has cleaned that off. So any residue has done the trick. So we've still got a couple of little marks on here, but again, I can get those off with some other product or steam or something once they're on the car. But yeah, pretty good. I'm pretty damn pleased with it, to be fair. Very pleased with it. So I think I've pretty much got everything cleaned now that I need to clean. It's just a matter of it all drying out. So now I'm going to attack the carpet. Now, I don't really want to take the carpet out, if I can help it. Oh, I've got to do that, haven't I? I've got to take that out. I forgot about that. So I'll take that out and do that as well. I'm not going to take the front bit out because I can just clean that. And the handbrake, obviously, I can just clean that as it is. Oh, back seat. Yes, of course. Oh, God, memory like a sieve. I will take that out. I might as well. It's easy enough to get out, and it 2 bolts and it's out. So I will do that. As I say, I'm not going to bother taking the rear out. I'll take the rear headrests out and give them a blast, but I won't bother taking the rear seats out. And then it's a matter of going over the carpet. This side, I think everything you can see on this side now is just bits. There's a little bit over there, mainly bits over there, but the worst bit, which is better now than it was before, thankfully, is that. I mean, that was absolutely caked in it, especially just there. And the scourer with hot soapy water got it off. So I'm going to continue with that method, and hopefully it'll all come off. I think it will. Again, it might be a little bit time consuming, but it'll work. And then once I've done that, then it'll just be bits hanging around. So all those bits can then be hoovered up. I'll do that right at the end. I have hoovered it like 3 times so far, but I'm just chucking all the bits on the carpet. Also got to get the bits off in the glass as well, on the inside of the windscreen, which I'll do with the blade, because that's just little splashes, it's nothing much. So I'll put something on the dash, a bit of paper or something to catch it, and then I'll just scrape it off, and then probably some window cleaner or elbow grease will do it. But yeah, I'll do that obviously before I hoover it all up, because I want to get it all cleaned, all the bits, all the surfaces clean, and then all the bits that have just fallen off, I'll then have a final hoover and get all those up, and then that'll be that finished then. So I'm going to go and change my very wet trousers and very wet shoes and socks, and then I'm going to do that seat first, and then we'll get changed and we'll attack the inside, and we'll show you that. So I'll be back shortly. Okay, so that side's done. There was a few little splashes up there and a few little splashes on the headlining. We've got some other little splashes on the headlining, which I've sprayed with G101. There's a few bits down there, and again on this seat there's a few little specks, nothing much. But I'm spraying with 101, leaving it a few minutes, scrubbing it, more 101, scrubbing it, bit of elbow grease, wiping off with a cloth, damp cloth, and it seems to be doing the trick. That's spotless now, that one, not a mark on it. And it seems to be getting it off really easily off the headlining as well. I'm using this scrubbing brush that I got in Primark. It was like £1.50 or £1 or something, and it comes off. It's only relatively soft bristles, but it's doing the job big time. So we'll continue doing this, and then we'll show you the finished product. There's no point me showing you. I'll show you a little bit. So I've already sprayed it. Oh god, bloody alarm. Give it a bit of a... There you go, it's pretty much gone now. There you go, gone. Finish it off with a little bit of that. Ta-da! As if by magic. Oh yeah, we're getting there. We really are getting there now. So let's get this finished, and then we can start on the carpet. That might be slightly more tricky, but again, if it's coming off the headlining quite well using that brush and G101, so maybe it's going to work okay on the carpet. We'll soon find out. There you go. That's the first side done. So there wasn't much on this side at all, really. There was a few little big blobs, but they took a bit of getting off. I used a screwdriver. I soaked them in 101. I scrubbed them. I soaked them in more 101. I got a screwdriver and sort of just poked at it, and it almost dissolved, really. And then more 101, and then soapy water. Dried it off as much as I can with a clean cloth. Yeah, and that's pretty good. So all the other trim has been done. That is all paint free. I've done all this down here, that's all paint free. That was scrubbing again, not with the scourer, with the scrubbing brush. I found 20p, which can go in the pot. I have a pot up here with money that I find in the cars. Add that to the little list. Yeah, so this side is done now. So I need to get stuck in with the other side. The other side is worse. Once the carpet's done and I've done the headlining, that's all done. That's all spotless. The only thing that there are a couple of little marks still on is that the sun visor. It's a funny sort of soft material as well, and there is still a mark on that. So I'll have another go at that at some point. But pretty much it's done now. I've just hoovered it out because obviously a lot of it was just sort of, you know, bits rather than stuck. But over this side we got a few more. Yeah, we've got these. This is sort of where it landed, I guess. And like I say, I've got a lot of it I got off. That was thick paint down there, and I got all that off. So I just need to come around this side and do this, and then we're getting there. We're almost there, to be honest. So I reckon, however long this takes me to do this, maybe half an hour or so. The only thing I haven't been able to get is that in there, but I'm not even going to try. You can't see it when the vent's on anyway, so I might have a go at it actually. I might just, yeah, maybe a steam brush in there or something like that, because can't really get to it. Got to do the inside of the windscreen as well, of course. But that plastic over there, that's got to be done as well. But yeah, there is more on this carpet this side than there was the other side, but the way it's come out the other side, I think it's just a little bit time consuming, but I'll attack it. I say I'm not going to film all this sort of stuff because it's just pointless, but yeah, show you the end result. So yeah, so after that, what else we got left to do? So seats are all cleaned, obviously they've just got to dry out. I'm still hoping that the airbag and that might come today and get those on. I've got to clean the that centre bit that goes in the heater controls still. I've got to get some cocktail sticks to do that, so that might take a little while, but that's not the end of the world. This is all clean, so once the carpet's clean, the plastic can go back in, as it already is that side. I didn't take it out that side. So yeah, we are really getting there now. So hopefully in about half an hour's time I can show you this clean and then hoovered and finished. That'd be great. Then just waiting for the seats to go back in, which are nice and clean. I don't know how they're getting on. Oh, the sun's gone in a bit now as well. Obviously one seat's in there. I put the rear seat over here, which is drip drying, as you can see. That's nice and clean. There's a couple of little marks on it, but I think they'll generally clean off. And the other seat is still over there. So oh, where's all the clouds? It's gone a bit cloudy. So I'm going to bring that other seat over here, because when the sun does come out, it'll be over here now. And then I'll take it indoors when it's dried off a little bit. I'm still tempted to get my wet and dry machine out. That one's drying off nicely in there. I think I will get that machine out, because it will just suck up the excess, won't it? I don't know why I didn't do that to start with, really. But yeah, it's good progress. Very good progress. So I reckon I'm at work tomorrow, but I think I'm going to be doing a short day tomorrow. So hopefully I can get the seats back in tomorrow if they're dry enough. And then once if these other parts don't come today, like the radio front and so on, they're going to come tomorrow. So I can't see any reason why I can't get this finished by the weekend, which means next week I can go to the paint shop. Wow, how good is that? And hopefully they won't take too long, and then as soon as it comes back, it don't need a service, it don't need an MOT, it can go. All I need to do is clean it, repair the wheels where they're scuffed, give the engine a clean, which is very dusty, as they always are from Copart, and it'll be ready to go. How cool is that? So yeah, be back shortly to show you the other side. There it is, clean, pretty much stain free. Didn't need to take the carpet out. I mean, there are you can just about see them on camera. They show up more on camera than they do in real life, but there are one or two tiny little bits there just below the pedals. But I will have another go at those, but I mean, that's nothing. It is pretty, well, it's clean, it's paint free to all intents and purposes. It's paint free. I'm going to go over the dash again with the G101 and just a cloth, and then I need to get that stuff off the windscreen, but I think I'll probably do that once I've got seats in there, because then I can got something to sit on when I do it then. But I'm really pleased with that. It's really come out well, really pleased. What a difference to it was less than 2 weeks ago. I mean, this is only, video wise, this is day 2. Actual days, so we got the day of delivery, we got the day I started it, we got this video which incorporates 2 days. That's it. That, and it's almost done. As I said on Instagram, commented to someone, it would have been a different story had that been gloss. But when you think about it, of course, 5 litres or 10 litres, it just so happened it was bad luck that it was 10 litres of paint. That's assuming it was a new can of paint. It could have been a 5 litre can of paint. Had it been gloss, things would have been very different. But also, gloss is more, I mean, you do get the brushable, what do you call it, the thin gloss. Some gloss is thin, isn't it? So, you know, generally, a can of gloss, the thick stuff, non-drip, isn't it? Yeah, and if it was non-drip gloss, then you do that with a can, and it probably wouldn't have come out. Certainly not to the degree that did, being emulsion. And even if it was, no, I mean, if it was normal gloss, the liquidy stuff, that's obviously about the same consistency as emulsion, but that would have made a mess. Well, it did make a mess, but you know what I mean. It would have been a lot more difficult to get off. I mean, you know, apart from jet washing, it hasn't been easy to get off. Or I've just spotted glass in there. Or I need to get that off as well and hoover out that glass in the bottom of there again as well. So I'm going to do that, and I think we'll probably say that's it for this video. So yeah, that is it for this video. There's plenty to be going on for this video. So this video you'll be seeing on Sunday, unless you're watching it on catch up, in which case don't press the vote button, because your call may not be whatever, but you might still be charged. I'll shut up anyway. Sorry, yeah, right, that's it for the video. Next video will be finishing it off, and then it will be going off to the paint shop. So that'll probably be a short video, because there's not an awful lot more to do. And then I'll give you an update of when I'm going to get it back from the paint shop. Hopefully it won't be too long, and then we can concentrate on the other 2 cars. I want to get the convertible to a point where I can get that to the body shop as well. I'm still in 2 minds as to what to do with that, but we'll cover that in the video for that car. So thank you for watching. Thank you for all your suggestions on how I'm doing this wrong and how I should be doing it, and and so on. Oh, shut up! I nearly swore then. I will. Dear, oh dear. Neighbours. Not this one. 2 doors down. I don't know why I'm whispering. Anyway, yes. So, forgotten what I was saying. Yeah. So the next video will be finishing it off on the inside, really getting those seats back in. And there's not much else to do, is there? Obviously, we've got to get the stereo and all that back in, which I'm still hoping is going to come today. If it does, I'll do it today, but obviously it'll be on the next video. So, as always, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Keep those comments coming. Keep them friendly. Keep them polite. I've got broad shoulders, but hey-ho. Oh, I don't care. Say what you like. But, yeah, thanks for watching. If you are casual, as always, hit that subscribe button. We're about 50% now of subscribers to views, so we're almost at 50%, but you know, that means there's 50% of you that aren't subscribers. Why not subscribe? Don't have to watch every video, but at least you'll know when they are coming up. So yeah, please hit that subscribe button. I'm still aiming for 4,000 by the end of the year, and I'm well on the way. I think I looked this morning, it was 4,700. I just saw someone in the back garden, then someone spying on me. So yeah, so hit that button. And we'll see you on the next one. So stay safe, take care, and we'll see you next week.